How are you guys doing? Today is Saturday, January 16th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to walk you through yesterday's Elite matchups from Friday, January 15th. And of course, I'm going to walk you through everything going on today as we walk through each sport individually. Starting with the NFL, there were no games yesterday, but the first day of divisional round football is today. At 4:35, the first seed in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers, are going to take on the sixth seed in the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams, and the second seed Buffalo Bills are going to in the AFC are going to take on the fifth seed in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens. Following today, only 6 teams will remain in the NFL, and tomorrow it'll be even more matchups. It'll be the Browns and the Chiefs at 3:05, and the Buccaneers and the Saints at 6:40. Going into this round, there are 8 teams, and coming out there will be 4. But after tomorrow, only 2 teams will be eliminated, and then we'll get back to you once those games are finished. Jumping to the NBA, starting with the primetime matchups. I'm going to start in Milwaukee because the Milwaukee Bucks went on to play the Dallas Mavericks. And in this matchup, the Milwaukee Bucks would beat the Dallas Mavericks 112-109, riding the momentum from their 7-point lead at the end of the first quarter. For the Dallas Mavericks, their starting power forward, Kristaps Porzingis, would finish with 15 points and 10 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 29 minutes as he shot 6 for 19 from the field. Their starting small forward, Tim Hardaway Jr., would finish with 22 points and 6 rebounds in 37 minutes, shooting 9 for 17 from the field. And then their leading scorer was their elite point guard, Luka Doncic, who would finish with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 13 assists in 36 minutes as he shot 12 for 24 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3, and 3 for 7 from the free throw line. For the Milwaukee Bucks, their starting point guard, Drew Holiday, would finish with 16 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in 35 minutes, shooting 7 for 15 from the field and making his only free throw attempt. Their starting small forward, Chris Middleton, would finish with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in 37 minutes as he shot 8 for 20 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and then 5 for 5 from the line. And their leading scorer was their elite power forward, reigning back-to-back MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who would finish with 31 points and 9 rebounds in 30 minutes as he shot 14 for 21 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, and 1 for 10 from the free throw line. Probably his worst free throw shooting game ever, but with this win, the Milwaukee Bucks are 9-4, which ties them with the Philadelphia 76ers for the second best record in the Eastern Conference. And with this loss, the Dallas Mavericks are now currently 6-5, which has them sitting with the 6th spot in the West. And then jumping out to the other premier matchup from the night, the Los Angeles Lakers, the defending champs, took on the New Orleans Pelicans, and in this matchup, the Lakers were able to beat the Pelicans 112-95 to extend their winning streak. Especially after beating the Pelicans, they outscored the Pelicans in the second, third, and fourth quarters after getting outscored by 8. They outscored the Pelicans by 7 in the second when they were down by 1 at halftime. Then they outscored the Pelicans by 11 in the third, and then 7 in the fourth. For the New Orleans Pelicans, their elite starting small forward, Brandon Ingram, would finish with 20 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in 35 minutes as he shot 9 for 15 from the field, and of course, go Duke. And their leading scorer was their elite power forward, Zion Williamson, go Duke, who would finish with 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists in 34 minutes as he shot 9 for 19 from the field and 3 for 6 from the line. For the defending champions, Los Angeles Lakers, their center off the bench, Montrezl Harrell, would finish with 16 points and 5 rebounds in 21 minutes as he shot 8 for 10 from the field. Their starting shooting guard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, would finish with 16 points in 25 minutes as he shot 6 for 11 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. Their elite starting power forward, Anthony Davis, would finish with 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks against his former team in 33 minutes as he shot 5 for 16 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 7 for 10 from the line. And the Lakers' leading scorer was their goated small forward, LeBron James, who, along with Zion Williamson, would lead the game in scoring as he had 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists in 31 minutes as he shot 6 for 11 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, and 7 for 7 from the free throw line. With this win, the Lakers are 11-3. They are the only team in the NBA with double-digit wins still, and they have the best record in the West by a game and a half over the Clippers. And with this loss, the New Orleans Pelicans are now 4-7, which is good enough to have them sitting with the 14th best record in the NBA. Continuing on with the other games, because Detroit and Washington got postponed, I'm going to jump to Boston because the Boston Celtics are supposed to play the Orlando Magic. In addition to the Wizards, Pistons getting postponed, the Grizzlies Timberwolves game got postponed. The Warriors Suns game got postponed as well. But of course, jumping out to Boston like I was before, the Celtics were able to beat the Orlando Magic 124-97 after outscoring the Orlando Magic by 12 in the first half, and then after outscoring them by 15 in the second half. They kind of dominated both halves, outscoring the Magic in every quarter. For the Orlando Magic, their starting small forward Dwayne Bacon out of Florida State would finish with 15 points and 8 rebounds in 26 minutes as he shot 5 for 14 from the field and 5 for 7 from the line. Their starting center, Nikola Vucevic, would finish with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 26 minutes as he shot 6 for 13 from the field and 2 for 2 from the line. Their rookie point guard, Cole Anthony, who would get the start, he would also finish with 15 points as he finished with 6 rebounds and 3 assists in 27 minutes as he shot 7 for 18 from the field. And the Orlando Magic's leading scorer would be their starting power forward, Aaron Gordon out of Arizona, who would finish with 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists in 29 minutes as he shot 5 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and 4 for 8 from the line. For the Boston Celtics, off the bench, their point guard out of Oregon, Peyton Pritchard, would finish with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists in 25 minutes as he shot 6 for 13 from the field and 4 for 8 from the three-point line. Also off the bench, their power forward, Semi Ojeleye, would finish with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Semi-go Duke, as he shot 6 for 10 from the field in 20 minutes, 3 for 6 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the line. Their starting point guard, Jeff Teague, would finish with 17 points on the night for the Celtics as he would go on to play 21 minutes. He would also finish with 2 assists and 2 steals as he shot 5 for 10 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 5 for 5 from the free throw line. And then their leading scorer would be their starting shooting guard, Jaylen Brown, who'd finish with 21 points and 8 assists in 25 minutes, shooting 6 for 12 from the field and 7 for 7 from the free throw line. With this win, the Boston Celtics are now 8-3, and they currently are sitting atop the Bucks and the 76ers for the best record in the West, or at least the best win percentage in the East. And with this loss, the Orlando Magic are 6-6 as they sit with the 6th best record in the East as it currently stands. Only 6 teams in the East are sitting at 500 or better as it stands in the NBA, and in the West it's 10, but we'll get back out there in a second. Jumping out to Cleveland, the Cleveland Cavaliers hosted the New York Knicks and were able to beat the Knicks 106-103 after outscoring the Knicks by 3 in the fourth quarter as both teams came in with a tying score. For the New York Knicks, off the bench, their shooting guard Emmanuel Quickley would finish with 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in 28 minutes, shooting 9 for 17 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the line. Their starting shooting guard, RJ Barrett, would finish with 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, as well as 2 blocks in 33 minutes as he shot 7 for 12 from the field and 4 for 4 from the free throw line, as well as 2 for 4 from the line. And the New York Knicks leading scorer would be their starting power forward, Julius Randle, who'd finish with 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists in 38 minutes as he shot 11 for 20 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 4 for 5 from the line. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, their starting small forward, Cedi Osman, would finish with 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists, as well as 2 steals in 40 minutes, as he shot 10 for 20 from the field, 5 for 9 from 3 as well. And Andre Drummond would be the leading scorer for the Cleveland Cavaliers, as he finished with 33 points and 23 rebounds, as well as 2 steals and 2 blocks and 3 assists in 40 minutes. All 5 of the Cavaliers starters played 40 minutes. Andre Drummond would shoot 10 for 18 from the field and 13 for 19 from the line. And with this win, the Cleveland Cavaliers are now currently 6-7, which is good enough to have them tied with the Charlotte Hornets for the 7th best record in the East. And with this loss, the New York Knicks are 5-8, and they are currently sitting with the 11th best record in the conference. And then jumping out really quickly to Oklahoma City, because the Oklahoma City Thunder hosted the Chicago Bulls, and they were able to beat the Chicago Bulls 127-125 in overtime. Of course, this game would go down to the wire with their late rally at the very end. For the Chicago Bulls, their starting power forward, Lauri Markkanen, would finish with 16 points and 6 rebounds, as well as 2 blocks in 35 minutes, as he shot 5 for 14 from the field and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Their starting center, Wendell Carter Jr. out of Duke, go Duke. He would finish with 16 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals in 33 minutes, as he shot 6 for 9 from the field and 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Their starting point guard, Kobe White, would finish with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in 44 minutes, as he shot 8 for 20 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And their leading scorer was their starting shooting guard, Zach Levine, who would finish with 35 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He also had 6 turnovers in 43 minutes, as he shot 11 for 19 from the field, 8 for 14 from 3, 5 for 9 from the free throw line, and then he would miss at the very end with a chance to possibly give the Bulls the win, or to at least go into the next overtime. For the Oklahoma City Thunder, their starting small forward, Luguentz Dort, would finish with 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 steals in 40 minutes, as he shot 7 for 15 from the field and 3 for 4 from the line. And their starting shooting guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, would be their leading scorer, as he had 33 points, 5 rebounds, and 10 assists in 44 minutes, shooting 13 for 19 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. With this win, the Oklahoma City Thunder are currently sitting at 6-6, which ties them with the Warriors, the Spurs, and the Nuggets for the 7th best record in the Western Conference. And with this loss, the Chicago Bulls are currently sitting at 4-8, which is the 12th best record in the entire Eastern Conference. Jumping out to Utah, Salt Lake City, the Utah Jazz hosted the Atlanta Hawks and were able to beat the Hawks 116-92 after outscoring the Hawks by 10 in the first quarter and 11 in the fourth. For the Atlanta Hawks in this matchup, their starting center, Clint Capella, would finish with 16 points and 11 rebounds in 27 minutes, as he shot 8 for 9 from the field. Their starting shooting guard, Cam Reddish, would be the team's leading scorer, as he had 20 points and 5 rebounds in 28 minutes, shooting 8 for 13 from the field and 4 for 5 from 3. The Atlanta Hawks' elite point guard, Trae Young, would finish with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists in 24 minutes, as he shot 1 for 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the line. And then for the Utah Jazz, off the bench, their point guard, Jordan Clarkson, would finish with 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in 28 minutes, as he shot 6 for 17 from the field and 4 for 12 from 3. Their starting point guard, Mike Conley, would finish with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists, as well as 4 steals in 27 minutes, as he shot 5 for 10 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3. Their starting small forward, Bojan Bogdanovic, would finish with 17 points, as in 3 rebounds in 27 minutes, as he shot 6 for 12 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, and he made both of his free throw attempts. Their elite center, Rudy Gobert, would finish with 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks in 28 minutes, as he shot 6 for 7 from the field, and he shot 3 for 6 from the free throw line. And the Utah Jazz leading scorer would be Donovan Mitchell, their elite shooting guard, who would finish with 26 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in 29 minutes, as he shot 10 for 20 from the field and 6 for 10 from 3. With this win, the Utah Jazz are 8-4 with that win, which has them half a game behind the second-place Cavaliers in the third-place spot in the West. And with this loss, the Atlanta Hawks are 5-6, which has them sitting roughly in the same position as the Charlotte Hornets. But they have 1 win and 1 less loss than the 8th place Hornets and the Cavaliers as it stands. So they're sitting right outside the playoff picture as of now. And then jumping out into Sacramento, the Sacramento Kings hosted the Los Angeles Clippers. And in this game, the Clippers were able to beat the Kings 138-100 after outscoring the Kings in every quarter. They outscored the Kings by 21 in the third and then 9 in the fourth to outscore them by 30 in the second half. For the Sacramento Kings, their starting center Rashawn Holmes would finish with 17 points and 5 rebounds in 30 minutes as he shot 8 for 11 from the field, and he made his only free throw. And the Kings' leading scorer would be their number 2 overall pick in the 2018 draft, Marvin Bagley III out of Duke, go Duke, who would finish with 20 points and 5 rebounds in 31 minutes as he shot 8 for 12 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 2 for 4 from the line. And for the Los Angeles Clippers, off the bench, their small forward Marcus Morris Sr. would finish with 18 points. He finished with 18 points in 22 minutes as he shot 7 for 12 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. Their elite shooting guard, Paul George, would finish with 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in 30 minutes as he shot 8 for 14 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, and 6 for 6 from the free throw line. And then their goated small forward, Kawhi Leonard, would finish with the game high as he had 27 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists in 28 minutes as he shot 10 for 15 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, and 6 for 6 from the free throw line. With this win, the Los Angeles Clippers are sitting at 9-4. They have the second best record in the West. They are a game and a half behind the first place Lakers. And they, along with the Bucks and the Sixers, are the teams that are looking to get their 10th win with their next game to be played. And then with this loss, the Sacramento Kings are currently sitting at 5-8, which is the 13th best record in the West as it stands. And those are all the big games from yesterday, and looking into what's going on in today's matchups because it is Saturday. Starting with the mainstream matchups on NBA TV at 5 o'clock, the San Antonio Spurs are going to host their in-state rivals, the Houston Rockets. At 7:30, the Raptors are going to host the Hornets on NBA TV. And then outside of those games, at 6 o'clock, the Nets are going to host the Magic. The Nets are 7-6. The Magic are 6-6, and James Harden might be playing that game. The Miami Heat are going to host the Detroit Pistons at 8 o'clock. The Grizzlies are going to host the Sixers. And then at 10 o'clock, the 7-5 Portland Trail Blazers are going to host the 5-6 Atlanta Hawks. So that's what the NBA is looking like as right now, because the only game that got postponed was between the Suns and the Pacers because of what's going on with the Suns as of right now. And then looking at into college basketball with yesterday's games, there was only one ranked game played. Villanova-UConn got postponed. But Rutgers would host 9th-ranked Wisconsin, and Wisconsin would beat Rutgers 60-54 after outscoring Rutgers by 5 in the second half. Aleem Ford would lead the way for Wisconsin as he finished with 14 points and 6 rebounds. With this win, Wisconsin is 11-3 as their record in the Big Ten jumps to 5-2. And with this loss, Rutgers is 7-5 as their Big Ten record drops to 3-5. Looking at what's going on today, at 12 o'clock, 14th-ranked Illinois is going to host 21st-ranked Ohio State. At 1 o'clock, unranked Texas A&M is going to host 17th-ranked Mizzou. At 2 o'clock, 23rd-ranked Minnesota is going to host 7th-ranked Michigan on ESPN2. At 2 o'clock, unranked Butler is going to host 8th-ranked Creighton. At 4 o'clock, 15th-ranked Texas Tech is going to host 2nd-ranked Baylor. At 6 o'clock, 10th-ranked Tennessee is going to host unranked Vanderbilt. At 6 o'clock, 12th-ranked Clemson is going to host 18th-ranked Virginia on ESPN. At 8 o'clock, 4th-ranked Texas is going to host unranked Kansas State on the Longhorn Network. Also at 8, unranked Miami is going to host 16th-ranked Louisville on ACC Network. And at 10 o'clock, unranked St. Mary's is going to host 1st-ranked Gonzaga on ESPN. So that's what's happening in college basketball. And then last but not least, looking out to what's going on with soccer, because there were no big games yesterday as far as I can remember, but except for Lazio beating AS Roma 3-0, and Ciro Immobile would end up, the elite Italian striker would end up with the 14th minute goal and the first goal of the game, which would help Lazio move up 3 points in Serie A. Looking out to today's matchups, going league by league, I'm going to start in the Premier League. Chelsea's going to play against Fulham at 12:30. That's going to be the only really big matchup from any of the really big Premier League teams today. But looking at the Premier League, Chelsea is currently sitting 9th in the table as they have 26 points. They are 10 points out of first. with the whole second half of the season left to be played, that's going to be very interesting to see how the second half of that season turns out, because out of all the elite teams in England, they're second from the bottom. Only Arsenal sits below them, as Arsenal sits 11th in the table. Going out to Germany, Borussia Dortmund will face off against Mainz at 9:30 in the German Bundesliga. They're the only big game in the Bundesliga. And looking at how the German league is sitting out, Borussia Dortmund currently sits 5th in the table with 1 game in hand. But of course, they're 5 games from the top from Bayern Munich. They both played the same amount of games. And a win here could possibly see them move into the top 3 of the Bundesliga yet again, especially after their big win last week against RB Leipzig. And looking into French Ligue 1, PSG is going to face off against Angers. That's the other really big matchup today, because after that, there's not much going on. But looking out into Ligue 1, with a win here, PSG can momentarily see themselves being moved into the top seed of the table. Olympique Lyonnais is 2 points ahead of them with the same amount of games played. So another Olympique Lyonnais win in addition to this one could see Olympique Lyonnais jump right back up to the top of the table. But that is what soccer is looking like as of today, Saturday, January 16th, 2021. I want to thank you once again for listening to all 20 minutes of this piece. I hope all is well, and I will catch you tomorrow once all these games are finished. Thanks once again. I hope all is well, and peace out. I will catch you with an individual profile after this for Tre'Davious White, the cornerback for the Buffalo Bills, who today is officially turning 26. Congratulations to him, and I will follow this piece up with an individual episode. But with that, I'll get back to you with another daily episode tomorrow. Thanks once again, and I will catch you tomorrow. Peace out.